Here we go. Welcome into a little late night strat. I'm Craig. This is the RNGIDP Strat-O-Matic baseball channel. And welcome into game day 13 of the RNL, my randomized rosters. 30 game day. I guess I should figure out a way to call it something. It's a 28 game season. Shortened season for my randomized rosters teams. All 30 teams have been randomized, and we're playing a little short season with them. So here we go. Today's game is between the Washington Natu and the Milwaukee Breloom. Washington sits at 4-7, struggling right now, and 11th in the standings in the KL. Their last game, they lost 10-6 against Philadelphia, and they've lost 2 in a row now. Milwaukee, on the other side of the spectrum, they sit in second place at 9-2. They've scored 50 runs, given up 42, and they are tied for first. They're in second, but they are tied record-wise with Pittsburgh for the best record in the league. Milwaukee, their last game was against Atlanta, who is in the top of the standings as well, and they ended up beating them 5-3, and Milwaukee has won a couple in a row now. So we'll see where this one can go. Two teams headed in opposite directions, but you never know. These are randomized rosters, so it's been very random, and that's kind of why my league name is random. RNG, random number generator. So I kind of like it that way, and you never know what you're going to get here on this channel in this league. Sorry about the delay tonight. Getting started a little bit late. I had to change the cartridge in my pen, and I'm going to leave this on my desk because I need to. This is my reminder, and when I go back and maybe watch this is my reminder to buy some more ink. So help me to remember to do that so that there won't be any delays in games coming on the stream because I don't have any ink for my pen. All right, so we're getting started a little bit late, but that's okay. I'm gonna enjoy rolling this game, and I hope you do too. Kyle Gibson is the starter for Milwaukee. He's a right-hander, and he is coming into the game with I just tweeted this, but if you want, follow me on Twitter at RNGIDP _Twitter _ strat at RNGIDP _ strat on Twitter. I post all the pertinent information over there. I post the score sheets after the game, so you can check it out if you can't really see it very well over here. But here you go. Kyle Gibson is 0-0, no decisions yet, and a 4.09 ERA. So we'll go through the Washington Natu lineup that will face him at the moment. And Ender Enciarte, the lefty, in left field. I know he's he is a left fielder, right fielder 1, center fielder 2, and we have him at left field today, batting leadoff. He is hitting .373. So pretty good, one of the top in the leagues, and 1 home run, 8 RBI. Jason Kipnis batting second, the lefty. Jason Kipnis was injured part of the season, and he is hitting .239, no homers, 4 ribbies. Carlos Correa, shortstop. He started off slow this season, but he's up to a .279 average now, 1 homer, 4 RBI on the season. Anthony Rizzo started slow and still has been a little bit slow with the average. .205 is what he's hitting. The lefty in the cleanup spot. He's hit 4 home runs and 10 ribbies, though. Curtis Granderson, they're going with the lefty strong lineup against the righty Gibson. Curtis Granderson is in center field. He's hitting .167, 1 homer, 2 RBI. Salvador Perez is the everyday catcher, hitting 6th in he's a righty. Salvador Perez is hitting .143. Yeah, he's off to a slow start. No homers, 2 RBIs, 13 strikeouts on the season, and 42 at bats so far. Miguel Sano, the third baseman, a righty, hitting 7th. Miguel Sano is hitting .289, not bad out of the 7-hole. 1 homer, 3 RBIs. And Frenchie Jeff Francoeur is the right fielder in the 8th spot. He's hitting .286, no home runs, 1 RBI, 10 strikeouts. And the pitcher is Jorge De La Rosa, the lefty, and he is a weak-hitting left-handed batter. So we're just about ready to get things started here. Happy to have you along. If you're here live watching with me, leave me a comment on the chat. Let me know who you are and where you're watching from. And if you're watching this afterward, when it gets posted onto YouTube, I thank you for doing so. If you like it, leave a like. Leave me a comment. Let me know who you are. I appreciate all of you that have tuned in here. Okay, so here we go. Let's play some baseball. Kyle Gibson is the pitcher for the Milwaukee Brayloom. Milwaukee 9-2. And this is a 5-11 to get things started. And that is a ballpark single chance. And you can see right here, that's a 1-8 for the lefty. And it's going to be a 12. So that will be a line out to second base to get things started. L4. Second baseman Wilmer Flores barely has to move and makes the play. Jason Kipnis now, another lefty steps in. Yeah, this Washington Natu lineup is left-handed heavy anyway, and I'm not sure that there's been any substitutions just because it's a righty. I think this is just their everyday lineup. It's that left-handed heavy. All right, so here we go. Jason Kipnis, left-handed batter against the right-handed Kyle Gibson. A 1-9 is a grounder to Flores again at second. He scoops it up, tosses it over to Zimmerman at first, and that's the second out. Just getting started here in the top of the first. Washington, 2 quick outs to start it. This one is a 6-7, and that's an X chance for, yeah, you guessed it, Wilmer Flores, busy in the first inning. Wilmer Flores is a 4-ranged second baseman. So we'll go to our X chart, 4 range, 15, and that's going to be a good play. So, testing out Wilmer Flores early, and he makes all 3 plays. And that is the end of the top of the first. We'll get you lineups for the Milwaukee Brayloom here in 1 second. Jorge De La Rosa is the pitcher for the Washington Natu. Jorge De La Rosa comes into the game 1-1 with a 3.88 earned run average. And let's take a look at the lineup that he'll be facing. This Milwaukee Brayloom lineup is deep. Very, very deep. And with the left-hander up there, they're going to make a few changes on the day. So I'll let you know what the lineup is, but then I'll let you know who they're kind of rotating with for the lefty. So leading off will be Starling Marte, and he is the left fielder. Marte, he is hitting .333, so 16 for 48, 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 4 RBI. 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and has stolen 4 bags. So not a bad guy to have the leadoff spot. Melvin Upton Jr. is the center fielder today, the right-hander. Normally that's Adam Eaton's spot, and Adam Eaton is getting the day off to face because he's a lefty and facing the left-handed Jorge De La Rosa. So Melvin Upton Jr. has only had 15 at-bats so far. He's 4 for 15, no homers, 2 RBI. We'll see what he can do out of the 2 spot. Eduardo Escobar, the switch hitter, shortstop. He is hitting, let me find his information there. I'm looking at my Excel spreadsheet here. Eduardo Escobar, 208 on the season, 1 homer, 7 RBI. In the 3-hole, switch hitter. Josh Donaldson. I contemplated sitting Josh Donaldson in this game. He's only hitting .250 with 2 home runs and 5 RBI. And his backup is Evan Longoria. So I thought about giving him the day off, but what better way to get him healthy than to face a lefty, to get him swinging correctly again. In the 5 spot, you've got Ryan Zimmerman, the first baseman. And now, Ryan Zimmerman only has 15 at-bats, but he's got 4 home runs and 9 RBI. He's had a few big-time pinch-hit home runs. And he's finally, I think this will be his second start on the season. And what is this, the 12th game? So he's rotating for the left-handed Joey Votto. Joey Votto is coming off the bench today. Joey Votto's hitting .480. So it hurt a little bit to try to sit Votto. He's got 4 home runs and 10 RBI. So Votto, he's taking a seat. I don't think he's very happy about it. But Zimmerman gets the call today. Wilmer Flores, the man at second base, as we saw in the top half, he's hitting 6th, the righty. James McCann is the catcher in the 7th hole. James McCann's hitting 179. Wilmer Flores, not much better. I didn't forget about him. He's hitting 182. Tyler Collins is the right fielder today. He is hitting 273, 12 for 44. No home runs, 5 ribbies. The pitcher is Kyle Gibson, the right-hander. He's a weak right-handed batter. All right, let's get things started here in the bottom of the first. Starling Marte makes his way. That's a 6-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. First at bat and a strikeout for Jorge De La Rosa. And I saw plenty of that because if you didn't know, I am a Colorado Rockies fan. I've got my little helmet right there. And Jorge De La Rosa is probably the best pitcher that we've had, which is sad, I know. He struck out a lot of guys, though. All right, so this one is to Melvin Upton Jr. A 1-14 is a single. It is a 12. So Melvin Upton Jr. singles in the place of the left-handed Adam Eaton. And that's just what the manager was hoping to see. So Upton is a B-stealer. And let's check Salvador Perez. He's a -3 arm. So that would be a 1-7. They're holding Upton. He's not going to run. Escobar steps in from the right-hand side, being a switch hitter. So this is a 5-3. That is a ground ball back to De La Rosa. De La Rosa is a 2-rated pitcher. He is a 215. That's going to his error rating, and he is an E0. So that is De La Rosa is going to pick it up, swing over, and toss it to the second baseman who can complete the double play. That is a 1-4-3 double play to end the inning. So De La Rosa gives up a hit, but gets him in order. And the first inning is over, scoreless. Escobar continues to struggle. But Kyle Gibson makes his way back out in the first inning. Now the second inning, Anthony Rizzo, the lefty, up. It's a 2-6. A 2-6 has a chance to be a triple. A 1-2 chance, and it is not. It is a fly out to the center fielder Upton. One gone here in the second. Curtis Granderson. There's so many lefties in this lineup. 1-4. And that one's a grounder back to Gibson. Gibson is able to snag it. Tosses it over to Zimmerman, the first baseman. And now there's 2 down. Salvador Perez, the right-handed veteran catcher. That's a 5-7. And he is able to work a walk. Slowing down the process for Gibson here a little bit. Had retired 5 straight, but now Perez is on base. And the big boy Miguel Sano up to bat. Miguel Sano, that's a 3-6, and he takes a big hack, but gets no ball, and that is a strikeout. The first one of the day for Gibson, and the third out of the inning. Top of the second is over. Washington still 0 runs, and De La Rosa makes his way back out. And he will face Josh Donaldson, right-handed batter, and he takes a big hack and finds nothing. This is a strikeout. Second one of the day for Jorge De La Rosa. Ryan Zimmerman, and Joey Votto in the dugout, is watching eagerly this at-bat. And he is watching it go to center field. The center fielder is Curtis Granderson. Curtis Granderson is a 4-range center fielder. A 4.11 will be at his error rating. He's an E6, and that is an E6. We rolled a 7. And that is going to be a good catch. So Granderson stretches out, but he makes the catch. And there's 2 gone here in the bottom half of the second inning. Wilmer Flores. Wilmer Flores was busy in that first inning. It's a 1-3. A 1-3 is a single chance. That's a 1-8 single chance, and it is a 1. So Wilmer Flores singles, and now he's aboard for James McCann. James McCann, the catcher. 2 down. Flores on first. 2-7 is a grounder at the shortstop. Correa corrals it and tosses it over. And McCann is out at first. So gave up a 2-out single, but no harm done. And we're through 2, scoreless. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving Day weekend and are having a good one. We got another day left. A lot of football on tomorrow. I'll be watching my Broncos with Paxton Lynch, the new starting quarterback, against our hated Raiders. All right, here we go. Top of the third. Frenchy Francoeur, 6-6, is a fly ball to right field. The right fielder, Tyler Collins, is camped under it, and he makes the easy snag for the first out of the third inning. The light-hitting Jorge De La Rosa steps in from the left side. The 4-9. This is a chance at a single, and it's a 1 for a single, and nope, got too many 1s there. He rolled an 11, and that's a grounder to the first baseman. Zimmerman picks it up, runs over to the bag by himself, and the play is made. The lineup turns over. Ender Enciarte lined out sharply to Wilmer Flores to start the game. This is a 1-7. A 1-7 is a chance for a single. 1-18. That is a 1, and that is a single to left or to center field. So Ender Enciarte with a 2-out knock. He is an A stealer. James McCann is a -2 at behind the plate for Milwaukee, a -2. So that'll be a 1-15. They are holding Enciarte, so it'll be a 1-13 with a -2 arm. That's a 1-11. With 2 outs, he's not going to try it. Jason Kipnis now is at the bat. It's a 5-5. And a 5-5 Kipnis strands the man at first as he strikes out against the righty Kyle Gibson. Second strikeout of the day for Gibson. And that is the end of the third inning. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Scoreless, a third of the way through for Washington. And now Jorge De La Rosa. He's given up 2 hits so far in 2 innings. None of them have hurt so far, but hit an inning, that's not great. 6-7, and that is a strikeout against the lefty, Tyler Collins. That is the 3rd strikeout of the day for Jorge De La Rosa. just underway here in the game day 13 matchup of Milwaukee against Washington in Milwaukee. Kyle Gibson, the pitcher, is up to bat. It's a 4-9, and he is able to draw a walk. Well, you don't want to walk your opposite number. And I think Jorge De La Rosa is getting some nasty stares from his pitching coach. And Starling Marte is now up with a man on first. It's a 3. He's a lefty. A 3-10 is a foul out to the third base side. The third baseman, Sano, makes the catch. And that is the second out of the inning. It'll be up to Melvin Upton now. Upton singled in his first at-bat. And this is a 4-6. A 4-6. Oh, this one looks good. This one's hit hard, and it is down the line, and that is a double down the line. And we'll see how well Gibson can run. Gibson was on first. He was being held. Let's see. So Gibson he doesn't have a speed rating on his card. On his pitcher's card, hitting card, he's a 1-10 runner. So a 1-10 that's being held is a 1-9. There are 2 outs, so it's a 1-11. This was hit to center field. Center fielder Granderson is a +2, so it's a 1-10, right? So let's see there. Let's try that again. 1-10 -1 for being held is a 9. An 11 is 2 outs +2. So it's a 1-13. A 1-13 that he will score from first. So he's getting the sign to run around third. He rounds home, and he is gunned down by Curtis Granderson. Kyle Gibson, the pitcher, hoofing it, trying to make it home, and gets gunned down at the plate. Probably shouldn't have sent him with 2 down, but Gibson was breaking for home, trying to score a run, and that is the end of the 3rd inning. So it's still scoreless. Upton thought he might have had an RBI there, but the pitcher, Gibson, was just nailed at home by Granderson, who makes a fine throw. And Gibson is trying to catch his breath as he makes his way back out to the mound to face Carlos Correa. We'll see if him being out of breath will hurt him here. A 3-8. Well, he gets a fly out to center field against Correa. Upton stares a little bit longer at Gibson as he throws the ball back in, eyeing him down. Anthony Rizzo now. And Anthony Rizzo will hit this one out to Upton as well. That's an X chance. And let's see here. Upton is a 2-range center fielder. A 210 is going to go to his E rating. And that roll of 5, he's an E3. E3, and that's just barely made. So Upton dives and makes the play, and Upton has made the first 2 outs of the 4th inning now. And once again, throws it a little bit, put a little bit much on it, throwing it back to the pitcher. Curtis Granderson now. And this is a 4-6, and Granderson, the man who threw Gibson out at home, draws a walk. So a 2-out walk in the top of the 4th, and Kyle Gibson now deals with Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez hits one, and that is right back to the pitcher. Gibson is able to handle it, tosses it over to Zimmerman, and that is the third out of the inning. So still scoreless here, going to the bottom of the fourth. Thanks for joining me here on the RNGIDP channel. My name is Craig. I hope you're enjoying it. If you do, go over to Twitter, send me a message, leave me a comment here. Love to talk to you. And Jorge De La Rosa now facing the right-handed hitting Eduardo Escobar. And that one's a fly ball to the left fielder, and Ciarte makes the play. And that is the first out of the bottom of the fourth. Things moving along pretty quickly here tonight. Josh Donaldson is the batter. That's a 5-8, and that is a second base X-Chance. Kipnis is the second baseman over there. He is a 3-ranged second baseman. So a 3-8 is going to his error rating. He's an E10, and we rolled an 8. So that will be a good play. Kipnis gets down in the dirt, scoops it up, and tosses it over to first, where Rizzo is able to grab it for the second out here in the bottom of the fourth. Ryan Zimmerman now flied out to center his first at bat. 6-5 is the roll, and that is a grounder to the third baseman, Miguel Sano, who's able to make the play nice and easily. Zimmerman, not quite the runner he used to be, jogs down the first base line and knows he is out for the third out of the inning. So we are through 4, scoreless here. De La Rosa and Gibson locked in a duel. 4-4 for Miguel Sano, and that'll be a center field X-Chance. Melvin Upton is getting a workout in center field now. He's a center field 2, and a 3 was the roll, and that will be a single for Miguel Sano. Melvin Upton Jr. couldn't quite make it, couldn't quite get there, and Sano has reached on a leadoff single here in the 5th. Hey, Al Red Sox fan, joining us here live in the live stream. How was my Thanksgiving? My Thanksgiving was great. I'm still stuffed from all the leftovers that we ate, and man, good food. Hopefully your Thanksgiving was good, Al, and hopefully everybody else watching, they had a great Thanksgiving too. All right, Jeff Francoeur with a man on first. 4-7, and Jeff Francoeur got a little nervous and strikes out. So that is the third strikeout for Gibson. And De La Rosa is up. De La Rosa is a B bunter. Miguel Sano is a 1-9 runner. Man, they're not going to hold him. So De La Rosa, he's gonna try and bunt it. Infield is in. His bunting is a C, but it will be a D here. So a D7. Batter is thrown out by first baseman. Runners advance one base. So De La Rosa is able to get the sac bunt down. And Sano is able to move to second. Al, what was your favorite dish at Thanksgiving? Those for you watching afterward, leave a comment with what your favorite dish was at Thanksgiving. Mine, if I'm picking a dish, as Ender Inciarte is up with a man on second, 2 down here in the top of the 5th. My favorite dish, well, this is a first base, a single chance. 1-8 will be a single. And it is a 7. So this is a single 1 star. So Sano has to stay at third. He probably wasn't going anywhere anyway. He's a 1 to 9 runner. But now you got runners on the corners. My favorite dish is the only one I'm allowed to make in the family. The one I'm allowed to bring to Thanksgiving dinner, and that's the mashed potatoes. I like to say that I make the world's best mashed potatoes, because I feel like I do. I haven't tried yours, whoever you are out there, but I'm sure mine are wonderful. Al's are the stuffed mushrooms. I've never had stuffed mushrooms at Thanksgiving. I've never heard of that. Interesting. 2-9 for Kipnis with men on first and third, and he grounds out to the shortstop. Well, that's an anticlimactic way to end the inning for Kipnis. Had a chance to be a hero and pick up an RBI, but grounds out to the shortstop, Escobar. So the top of the 5th comes to an end. Made a little nervous, but no runs scored. And Wilmer Flores, the second baseman, now has his turn against De La Rosa. 3-10, and that one's a fly ball to left field. Inciarte glides over to make the catch, and Flores is retired here in the bottom of the 5th. James McCann, the catcher, grounded out to short his last time up. This is a 110. A 110 is a ground out to shortstop again. So Correa is able to get him out at first again. McCann is lumbering down that line trying to beat it out, but Correa beats him by at least 3 steps. Tyler Collins now, the lefty against the lefty De La Rosa. And this one pops meagerly to Correa at short, and he squeezes it and makes the 3rd out. So that was an easy bottom of the 5th for De La Rosa, who's picking up steam. Scoreless here now. Got a pitcher's duel going here. We haven't had one of those on stream, I don't think, before. Kyle Gibson pitches to Carlos Correa. And that is a 4-8. And that one's a fly out to Melvin Upton, who's been busy. How many has he handled? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess only 4 flyouts to center, but feels like he's been busier than he has been. Anthony Rizzo now steps in from the left side. This is a 6-5, and that is a shortstop X chance. Escobar gets a chance to make a play. Escobar is a 3-ranged shortstop. 312, that'll go to his error rating. He is an E10, and I rolled a 5. And that will be a good play, just barely. 5 to 10 was the good play, and we rolled a 5. So Rizzo grounds one to the shortstop, Escobar, and he makes a nice play to get Rizzo at first. And now Curtis Granderson is the batter. Curtis Granderson, center fielder, lefty, walked his last time up. This is a 2-7, or 2-8, excuse me, a 2-8, and that will be a strikeout. Caught him looking. Granderson didn't like the call, but he ends up strolling backwards and giving a long look at the umpire. That's the 4th strikeout for Gibson. And now Gibson has worked 6 scoreless innings. That's about all he could have hoped for. He's going to get a chance to hit for himself. And Al is back in the chat. Welcome back. Gibson leads off the bottom of the 6th inning. He's a weak right-handed batter, and he strikes out. All for the best. Better to get him back in the dugout. That's the 4th strikeout for De La Rosa here in the first out of the bottom of the 6th. Starling Marte struck out his first time up, grounded out to the 3rd baseman his last time up, and that's a 3-8. And this one will be a fly ball to the center fielder Granderson, who camps under it, makes the play for the 2nd out of the bottom of the 6th. Melvin Upton Jr., he's got a single and a double to his credit so far. 2 outs here, though. And he is up to bat, and let's see, that's a 2-7. 2-7 has a chance to be a double, and it will be a 1-6 roll, and I rolled a 6, so he's got another double. And a 2-out double has him standing on second with Eduardo Escobar looking to drive him home. The bullpen is getting a little anxious over on the Washington side. De La Rosa has pitched well, but they're a little nervous. Escobar comes up after grounding into a double play in the 1st to end the 1st and flying out to the left fielder his last time up. This is a 6-5. A 6-5. He hits this one to the 3rd baseman. Sano is able to pick it up, tosses it over to 1st, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. So De La Rosa is able to strand Melvin Upton at 2nd once again. And the 6th inning comes to a close. We are scoreless here. Moving to the 7th. As I was saying, I've never heard of stuffed mushrooms at Thanksgiving dinner. What are they stuffed with? Well, I know a lot of times they're stuffed with bacon. Is it bacon, cheese? Is that what you stuff in yours, Al Red Sox fan, in the live chat? Salvador Perez now against Kyle Gibson to lead off the 7th. That's a 2-5, a 2-5, and he strikes out. So Gibson with his 5th strikeout on the day. Miguel Sano now takes his chance. 5-4 is a catcher X, and the catcher is McCann, and that is a 7 roll. McCann is a 2-ranged catcher. A 2-catcher 7 is a pop out. So McCann pops up out of his crouch and is able to make the play behind for the home base for the 2nd out. And Jeff Francoeur now. Jeff Francoeur trying to clear De La Rosa. That's a 3-4. A 3-4 is a strikeout. So Gibson has struck 3 out of the last 4 batters out. His 6th strikeout on the day. And that will be the end of the top of the 7th. So bread stuffing and crab meat, huh? Well, I guess if you're in New England, Al Red Sox fan, that makes sense. The fresh seafood up there, and your fiance makes them, huh? Interesting. All right, so Jorge De La Rosa makes his way back out to face 4 right-handers: Donaldson, Zimmerman, Flores, and McCann. The heart of the order here. They'll probably keep a close eye on him and get somebody warming in the bullpen. Wade Davis and Koji Uehara look like they're scampering around out in the bullpen if anything goes awry. So a 2-10. A 2-10 is a grounder to the 3rd baseman, Sano, who's able to pick it and stick it over to the 1st baseman for the 1st out. Ryan Zimmerman now. Milwaukee has a deep bench, as I mentioned to start the game. They've got some big bats, left-handed bats, and a couple of big right-handed bats that are in reserve just waiting. But Ryan Zimmerman will take a chance against the lefty Jorge De La Rosa. And he hits this one to the 2nd baseman, Kipnis. Kipnis handles it cleanly and is able to make the strong throw to 1st to get Zimmerman. Wilmer Flores. Wilmer Flores, the second baseman, 1 for 2 today. And he hits a 1-8 and a 1-8. Oh, just missed a double or a ballpark home run chance. That is a pop out to the shortstop, Carlos Correa. So a 1-2-3 7th for De La Rosa. And we have a decision to make coming here in the top of the 8th. So Kyle Gibson is coming back out to pitch the 8th, but Jorge De La Rosa is leading off. And if you look at our bench for the Washington Natu, we've got a couple of choices. We've got Ben Paulson, Edwin Encarnacion, and probably Ike Davis from the left-hand side. De La Rosa is pitching a gem, a shutout. Would the manager really pull him pitching 7 shutout innings? Encarnacion can give him the lead on one swing. Look at that 3 column. An 8 home run. 9 is a 1-7 home run chance. A 10 is a ballpark home run. 11 is a ballpark home run. Ike Davis, the lefty, he's got a lot of black ink there in the 2 column. Ben Paulson has a lot of black ink in the 1 column. Washington is 4-7. They haven't had great pitching. I think they're going to let him hit. They're going to let De La Rosa hit. And the lefty has a home run chance, but he is a weak left-handed hitter, so it won't be a home run, and it won't even get on base because I rolled a 20. So that will be a fly out to the right fielder. Oh man, a fly out to the right fielder. So he put a charge in one. Probably should have pinch hit for him, but almost made him pay for it by getting on base. And Ender Inciarte now is the man on. This is a 1-7, and a 1-7 is a 1-18 single chance. So this one is a single, and that is 3 straight at bats in a row that Ender Inciarte is on with a single. He is an ace stealer. And we looked at McCann before. He's a -2. So it'd be a 1-15 chance. They're holding him, so it's a 1-13. A -2 is a 1-11. So if we decided to run with Inciarte, we'd have to roll a 1 through an 11 to make that happen. Kipnis is a B bunter. He's a C hit and run. He's also hits a 1 through 15, or his running is a 1 through 15. They're going to let him swing away. I don't see any double play balls on that card, so they're going to let him swing away. It's a 2-6. A 2-6 is a single chance, 1-14. Oh, got to get it in the box. A 1-14 is a single, and it is a 13 single 1 star. So Washington has something cooking here with 1 out in the 8th. Carlos Correa now is at bat. And Gibson looks into the dugout to see if anybody's coming to get him. And they are not. They are not coming to get him yet. Not yet. They're going to give him one more batter, Carlos Correa. He's gotten him all 3 times he's faced him yet. Man on first and second. The double steal, if we tried to choose to do so, would be 1-10. They're going to hold him. So it'd be 1-8. It'd be a 1-6 to try and get the double steal off. They're gonna see what Correa can do. Gibson with the pitch, 6-11, and that's a fly ball to right field. The right fielder is Tyler Collins. He's a 3-ranged right fielder, a 312. We'll go to his error rating. His E rating is a 16. So E16, this is a 7. So right fielder, E16, well, that's not good, and a 7. And that will be a 2-base error. So Tyler Collins dives to make the play. It bounces off the edge of his glove and goes rolling into the corner. And that is a 2-base error for the right fielder, Tyler Collins. And that will score Ender Inciarte from second. And that will get Kipnis to third. So Washington goes up 1-0 on a wild play. Tyler Collins dives to try and make the catch, and Carlos Correa is at second, standing there with an error, reaching on an error. So they are going to go get Gibson. Unfortunately, he had a nice start, but couldn't close this one out for him. And they're bringing out the lefty, Antonio Bastardo. So Milwaukee with a call to the bullpen. Antonio Bastardo makes his way out. Bastardo has pitched 6 innings this year. And I'll give you those details here in 1 minute. Gibson goes 7.3 innings. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Struck out 6, so 6. And walked 1, 2 batters. All right, Bastardo, like I said, has pitched 6 innings this year so far. Has 3 wins on the year. Has come in relief and picked up 3 victories. He's given up 4 hits, only 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. So Bastardo is kind of the guy that they've put in, and then they've gotten hits late to get the victory. And we'll see if he can do that again. So Anthony Rizzo is the batter, the lefty, with a man on second and third. 1 down here. The infield is in, trying to prevent any more runs. It's a 2-6, and oh, that's not going to do it. A 2-6 is looking good. This one is hit down the line, and that is a double 2-star. And Anthony Rizzo comes up big and scores both of the runs. So they tried to match lefty-lefty, and it didn't matter for Rizzo as he makes them pay with 2 ribbies, and it's now 3-0. So this first run will be unearned, and so will this third one. But the middle run will be an earned run. So that'll close the book on Gibson. Gave up 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. And now the left-handed batter, Curtis Granderson, comes up with a man on second. That's a 2-5, and a 2-5 is a strikeout. And that's the second out of the inning. So the pace is slowed as the Washington Natu rally to take a 3-0 lead here. And the right-handed catcher, Salvador Perez, bats against Bastardo. And a 3-4 will be a sharp liner to the second baseman, Flores, but he's able to make the catch. And that is the third out of the inning. So Gibson had a nice start, but ran out of gas here in the 8th. And Washington is able to pounce and take a 3-0 lead off of a costly error by Tyler Collins, the right fielder. So the setup man, let's see who that will be. Jorge De La Rosa comes off. And they're going to go to the bullpen. Washington will get Wade Davis out of the bullpen. Yeah, Wade Davis is their setup guy. They have a good bullpen. So De La Rosa goes 7 innings. Gives up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. No runs. No earned runs. Struck out 4. And walked one batter. And now he's in line for the victory as the Washington rallies to preserve maybe a nice start here for Jorge. All right, James McCann will greet him in the bottom of the 8th. Remember, Milwaukee has that deep bench. I keep saying it, but it's true. And a 5-9, and McCann strikes out in the first plate appearance against Wade Davis. Tyler Collins, the lefty, right fielder, and are they going to let him hit? Yeah, they're going to let him hit for now. So this is a 1-6, and they shouldn't have. That's a strikeout. So Davis, 2 up, 2 down so far, both strikeouts. And they will pinch hit. And they're going to try and get a table setter up. They're going to hit Adam Eaton, the lefty. Adam Eaton pinch hits. The normal everyday starting center fielder, getting the day off with the lefty De La Rosa up. But he will pinch hit here in the bottom of the 8th. Milwaukee down 3-0. They need base runners, and this will do it. That one struck down the line, and that one is going for extra bases. That is a triple for Adam Eaton. A 2-out triple. And that's about as well as a table setter as you can get. A 2-out triple for Adam Eaton. And Starling Marte staring down a RBI at third base with the tough righty Wade Davis on the mound. 2 outs. Man on third. Starling Marte up to bat. That's a 5-8. And Marte draws a walk. And now the hottest batter for Milwaukee, Melvin Upton, 3 for 3 on the day, is up to bat. Would love to make this 4 for 4 and tie the ball game. Wade Davis wipes the sweat from his brow and delivers the pitch. And this is a 2-6. A 2-6 is a fly to left field. It's deep, but the left fielder Enciarte makes a nice grab, and that ends the threat and ends the bottom of the 8th inning. They left 2 on, couldn't convert. And all the work that Upton did earlier in the game with 3 hits now doesn't look so great. Wade Davis goes back to the dugout, gets some high fives from his team. Washington looking for that 5th victory, and they might be able to jump a couple teams with 5 victories. So Bastardo will not continue. Joakim Soria comes out of the bullpen. Joakim Soria. So Bastardo went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, no runs, struck out a batter, but didn't walk anybody. So Joakim Soria comes on, and I feel like he struggled a little bit. Let me look at his numbers. He has gone 3 1/3 innings. He's got a victory. No, he has not struggled. He's done the opposite of that. No hits in that 3 1/3, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So let's see what he can do here against the powerful right-handed hitter Miguel Sano. Sano hits the 4 column. That's a 4-10. There's a single chance with a roll of a 1, and that's not going to happen. That's a liner to the 3rd baseman Donaldson, who makes the play for the first out in the top of the 9th inning. Soria looking to get through the inning to try and give the offense a chance to tie it up. Jeff Francoeur. Jeff Francoeur is not going to get a chance to do so. Let's see. It looks like Ben Paulson will pinch hit. So Francoeur, who struck out twice today, will not get a chance to do so a 3rd time. Ben Paulson will pinch hit in the 9th inning against Soria, the lefty. Paulson is a lefty, a 4-5, and that's a strikeout. So Francoeur is thinking he probably could have done the same thing. And now the pitcher's spot is up, and they will get another pinch hitter. And that will be Edwin Encarnacion. So Encarnacion looking to get his at-bat today. Trying to get him some more at-bats, but he's only rated at first base, and so is Rizzo. So Rizzo being a lefty, he's starting against most right-handers. It's tough to get Encarnacion in the lineup. Okay, so Soria pitches to Encarnacion. That's a 6-8, and he walks him. Didn't want any piece of Encarnacion, and I don't blame him. Hey, we've got a new guy in the chat. The Cubs, the Bears. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the RNGIDP channel. This is Ender Enciarte 6-7, and that is a single 2 stars. So Enciarte, with his 4th single in 4 tries after lining out the first batter of the game, and he's now 4 for 5. And Encarnacion makes his way to 3rd, and Jason Kipnis now. Jason Kipnis against the righty. That's a 6-10. A 6-10 is a ballpark single chance. So 1-8, and this will score a run. It is an 18, and so that will be a line out to the 2nd baseman to end the threat and end the inning. So it's going to the bottom of the ninth. It's still a close one. 3-0 ball game. Washington at Milwaukee. And the closer for Washington makes his way out, Brad Boxberger. And Brad Boxberger will pitch to Encarnacion, Donaldson, and Zimmerman. Those are the probables. Davis had a nice inning. Went 1 inning, gave up a hit, no runs, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. We did make a pinch hit for Francoeur, and Paulson is not carded for first base. For right field. So we're going to put Justin Maxwell into the game at right field for Paulson. When we have the pitcher batting, we got to make all kinds of changes. So Justin Maxwell takes over in right field. Okay, so Brad Boxberger is the closer for Washington. He has, I believe he has had a couple of good appearances, maybe one bad one. He's gone 6 innings so far, taken a loss, 3 saves, 7 hits, 5 earned runs for a closer. That's a little rough. 11 strikeouts to only 1 walk. So yeah, he had one tough appearance for Boxberger, but otherwise he's been pretty solid. So he will lead off to Eduardo Escobar here in the bottom of the ninth, and that 2 column looks pretty good, and Escobar draws a leadoff walk. Not what Washington wanted. And now Josh Donaldson could put a dent in this 3-0 lead. Thanks for the kind words, Al, Red Sox fan. I appreciate that. And I'm glad we have the Cubs to Bears in the live chat watching here. 4-9. A 4-9 is a strikeout of Josh Donaldson. So Boxberger fights back off that leadoff walk to get Donaldson. Ryan Zimmerman. Let's see. We've got Joey Votto on the bench. We've got Trevor Plouffe on the bench. And Evan Longoria on the bench. And we got to start using them. But I think we're going to leave Zimmerman in for now, and we'll start substituting after him. This is a 1-5. A 1-5 is a strikeout, and oh no. Zimmerman looks like he strained a muscle. And we'll see if he is injured for any long period of time. And Zimmerman, the trainers are coming to get him, and yeah, it looks like he's going to have to miss a game. So Zimmerman is injured. He's out for an extra game. And Wilmer Flores now, man on first, 2 down here in the bottom of the ninth. And they're going to go get Joey Votto to pinch hit here. Joey Votto's been itching for a chance to get out here and make an appearance. And here it is. The lefty, Joey Votto, against the closer, Boxberger. And Votto hits a 2-8, and that is a strikeout. So Boxberger, after a leadoff walk, comes in and strikes out 3 straight to end the game, end the 9th inning. And Washington with a slight upset over the second place team in the league, Milwaukee Braylim. And Washington pulls out the victory. They move to 5-7 on the year. Milwaukee drops to 9-3. Milwaukee has now lost Well, no, they won their last game. I thought they had lost 2 in a row, but Milwaukee has now lost a game, and they moved to 9-3. I'll get the totals and all that going here in just a minute. Appreciate the kind words, the Cubs to Bears. You like the premise of my project? Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because I hadn't seen the whole rosters being randomized, and I thought, that might be fun to do. And so the teams are really even, and the way they've turned out, they all have different characteristics to the teams. Some teams have, like, I think it's New York, they have an all lefty bullpen. And so when they have most games, it's dicey, so the starter has to go as deep as possible. So I like the way the teams turned out with the individual characteristics. All right, so let me get some totals going here. Soria went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs, struck out 1 batter, and walked a batter. Gibson takes the loss, a tough luck loss, giving up 3 runs, only 1 earned. De La Rosa earns the win. Boxberger went an inning, gave up no hits, no runs, no earned runs, 3 strikeouts for Boxberger and walk, and he draws the save. So the total here, the final was 3-0. No errors for Washington, 1 error from Milwaukee. The hit totals: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits for Washington, 3 runs, 7 hits. Milwaukee had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits, no runs for Milwaukee. And Jorge De La Rosa improves his record to 2-1. Gibson finally gets a mark on his record. He moves to 0-1. And Brian Boxberger picks up his 4th save. So I will write these down here real quick. De La Rosa, he earns he's a 2-1 now. Kyle Gibson is 0-1, and Boxberger with his, what did I say it was? His 4th save. So that is a final from here. Washington with a surprise victory over the second division, the second leading team in the league in the KL. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll be back again tomorrow night. I'm playing these games anyway, so I might as well stream them. I've got the setup now, and I might as well just keep rolling. So I'm happy that you guys come out and watch. Come back again. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and make sure to go check me out on Twitter. I'll post the scores, and that's the easiest way to interact. So this is Craig. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.